morning, everyone. Welcome back to World Class Inventors. This is video number 37 in the series. And I apologize for not making these consistently. I had been planning on doing a video a week when I first set out, but life happens, things come up, and I've been embroiled, I would think, in a contentious office action with the PTO on a non-provisional patent that I filed. And just because I've been granted a couple of patents in the past, and they weren't walked through the tulips either, this kind of brings back old memories, old wounds, and I'm going through it again. And naturally, when this happens to a patentee or somebody who applies for a patent, this is the norm of getting a rejection. As I've mentioned and shared with you in the past, fully half of all patent applications receive final death notices, final rejections. And so it's the inventor's job, it's the inventor's calling, it's his or her duty to prevent this if you really believe that you have a viable invention, and especially if you believe that your invention is valuable. Well, I fall under that. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think that I had a valuable idea at hand, because I want the patent for my meal ticket, for my calling card. It will open up the world as far as marketing is concerned to me. And when I finally get this patent granted, I'm going to be climbing Mount Marketing once again, and I've shared that with you a bit. And I fully intend on summiting. So this is not a game. If you don't think that you can make a lot of money, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, if you don't believe that you can become a millionaire from receiving a patent, don't bother. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of energy. And it's a very arduous climb to attain one. So that's what I've been doing, and that's why I haven't been sharing with you. But if you notice, when you write to me in the comments, I make it my business to answer each and every comment. I'm not getting deluged with comments because I don't get thousands of views every time I put up a video. You can see the view count. I've had about 20,000 views on this series, and it's about a year old. I'm approaching 500 subscribers. I've had almost 400,000 impressions. That means each time the little thumbnail might appear in different searches that you're on. And I'm getting a lot of very positive responses and some very nice emails as well. So I'm going to get into this patent office action and give you some tips. But I want to share a couple things with you first about my channel. I'm getting the biggest views when it comes to housekeeping issues, boilerplate issues as far as I'm concerned. A, how to file a provisional. That's the loss leader. I think I have 7,000 views. And then the other ones are on how to become a registered user, a registered filer. And then the other one is on how to file the SB 15 and the SB 16 forms, which go hand in hand with filing the provisional patent application. So all told, I might have, I'm just talking out of the seat of my pants, that I might have somewhere in the neighborhood of 10,000 views on those housekeeping issues. That's good. It's showing me that you guys are trying to wet your beak and you think your idea is good enough that you want to protect it for 1 year's time under a provisional patent application. So I want to wrap this up by saying this to you. If you have a question, write it to me in the comments. I'll answer it to the best of my ability. I don't really guess, and I won't volunteer something that can come back and bite me in the rear end. So I'll give you my best answers. I appreciate your comments, and I do enjoy writing back and helping you. The other thing is this. I put it out and I pinned the comment, and my last video, 36, was on my ebooks. I'm making them available to you. They're electronic files of my ebooks, and I'm happy to send them out to you. I'm getting quite a bit of interest in them, and I'm sending quite a few out. What I'm really trying to say to you is this. If you want to do this in earnest, if you want to succeed, if you have that $1 million idea, you have to ask me for my World Class Inventors Handbook. It's going to lay everything out that you need to know. It lets you understand what is coming over the crest of the hill and what's around the next corner. Things that you could never know or figure out unless you've been through it. So it's really a guide, a mentor's guide that is intended to help you. And I'm giving it to you free of charge. Free sometimes has a connotation that it's not good. This is a one-off book by an inventor, me, who sold over a couple $100 million worth of product by default in Walmarts nationwide when they only had 2,200 stores, not 25,000, whose product was so disruptive it had to be put in theft-proof packaging because the theft was off the charts. Over 750,000 units in the first 3 months. Somebody who's defended his intellectual property rights in federal district court. That is my background. That is the fodder that I draw from. That is the reverse engineering that's in this book. And if you have aspirations to summit, to get the patent, to do the marketing, this book is essential. And I don't mean to plug it, but I'm only letting you know it's a one of a kind. I don't think there's anything like it out there in the entire world of literature. At least not written by somebody who's been through what I've been through. Okay, enough said about that. So let's get back to what I've been going through and what you shall be going through should you file a non-provisional patent. An examiner's favorite rejection is USC 35-102. And that means that your patent, it's not novel. It's not new. It's out there. What does that mean, out there? It means it's out there in the prior art. It means it's out there in books, in periodicals, in YouTube, and posters that have been nailed to telephone poles saying that you're having a yard sale. It means that it exists somewhere out in the world, and the examiner can use any and all publicly domained sources. But they're mainly going to use the prior art citations, which they have in one of the most gigantic databases with the most sophisticated algorithms in the world. So this examiner is going to say, Mr. John Doe or Miss Sally Fields, your patent isn't new. Here's the citation. And it doesn't matter whether the patent's been granted or whether it was denied. All that matters is that examiner can get their hands on it and show it to you. And that's where the arguments begin. See, this is all about arguing. You have to have the goods because the examiner's job is like a sumo wrestler. They're trying to knock you out of the ring. That's their job. That's how this works. It's a bid type of a situation. They're not supposed to be there to forever bar you from getting a patent that you've earned or that is fair for you to be awarded. But their job is to put up resistance, and resistance they put up, okay? So 102 is lack of novelty. 103 is the claimed invention is obvious. So they'll pull up prior art citations and they'll compare your specification, your drawings, your detailed embodiments or detailed preferred embodiments, your claims against patents that have been granted in the prior art. And you have to argue that it was not obvious to those inventors at the time that came up with their patents that they could have thought ahead and foreseen what you're putting forward, sometimes 10, 20, 100 years later. So you have to show the examiner, hey, my idea was not possible to be obvious to those inventors at that time. So you have to keep that in mind when you're crafting your patent. The other one is the 112B rejections, and that means that your patent, your specification, your claims, your preferred embodiments lack adequate description. You're not describing your specification, your patent enough to satisfy the examiner. Now, that means your drawings could be weak, your claims could be weak, your body of your patent could be weak, which is the abstract, the brief description of drawings, and your preferred embodiments. We'll get into that. So the point is, you have to be detailed, you have to be succinct, and you have to spend a lot of time like a sculptor who sculpts in marble back in the days of Michelangelo. You have to keep chiseling and sanding and polishing and going over and rewriting what you're doing. You have to make it watertight and bulletproof. Now, this goes towards doing your provisional, which it has to be well thought out because it's supposed to CYA when you file it to hold your place in line. But that's just a jumping off point for your non-provisional. Your non-provisional has to be some of your greatest works of art when it comes down to you sitting down and crafting this. I'll give you one last tip. Yes, there are patent agents. Yes, there are patent lawyers, and there are people that can help you. And I'm going to put in the description box below the link for my friend who's a intellectual property attorney that helped me with my case when we sued Honeywell in a renovated horse stable with a brand new photocopier machine. And we took on the 9th largest law firm in the world with 1,100 attorneys. We did this together. Anyway, he's my good friend. I'm recommending his law firm to you for any intellectual property problems that you might have either now or in the future. And I'm definitely recommending one of the attorneys in that firm who is a partner that I'm working with right now on my office action. This firm and this particular patent prosecution attorney, because he's very nice, he's very personable, he's very thorough, he's intelligent, he's a great listener, And I really think he'd be excellent for newbies. Now, he's dealing with me, and I'm not the newbie. I'm doing a lot of behind the scenes heavy lifting, and he's doing what he needs to be doing, but he's great to work with. And I want to put his name out there because I'm starting to get requests for that as well. So that's why I'm going to post it. So there's a lot to come. I am hopeful. I'm in the thick of things. Trust me when I tell you. I'm in the thick of things. But I'm praying to God. I'm being positive. I'm doing my homework. I'm working my rear end off. This is not a game for me. I have to do this. I have to get this patent. And that's got to be your mindset as well. So I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully I have something more to report to you. And let's keep this going. Anyway, thanks for watching. And as always, God bless each and every one of you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.